Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport, and today we're taking a look at the 2007 Porsche 911 GT3. So this is the second generation of the GT3, which was based on the 997, which was the sixth generation of the 911. This car was produced between 2006 and 2011, and not even 1,000 of these were produced for the US and Canadian market. So yeah, I imagine there were more for the European market, but yeah, not a very high production sports car, this one, but still a really rather remarkable one regardless, because yeah, it's basically takes the standard 911 and just amps everything up from the period. So yeah, and one of the key things about this car is the fact that it's got zero lift aerodynamics, which means that the car does not generate anything other than downforce. So none of the aerodynamics are lifting the front of the car up, which was atypical for Porsche 911s prior, because they've got very little weight up front, with the engine being in the back, being rear-wheel drive. So yeah, there's not much weight up front, and yeah, that means that aerodynamically speaking, you could get some lift. That is not the case with this car, because yeah, it's only producing downforce, which means that it's very confidence-inducing at high rates of speed, because you got all of that downforce, and then you got plenty of grip at the rear, especially with the engine over the back. So yeah, all round a very good car in terms of aerodynamics. It's also got a 6-speed manual gearbox. The engine at this period for this car was new at the time, and it's also got track orientated electronically adjustable suspension, which was the first for a GT3, I believe. So yeah, that is all very well and good. Still not sacrificed any really of the practicality of this kind of 911 though, as it still has a decent space front. Does not have rear seats anymore, as you can see, though. That is to aid in being lightweight, and lightweight it is, as it only weighs 3,075 pounds, which is not much at all. But outside of the lack of rear seats, you've still got plenty of your usual creature comforts inside. As you can see, you've still got the likes of aircon, you've still got an LCD screen, telephone, and all sorts of everything else, but it just doesn't have the rear seats basically. But yeah, power wise, we've got plenty of it, especially for a car from 2007. So yeah, 409 horsepower and 298 pounds-feet of torque from a 3.6 litre flat 6 engine. So yeah, the flat 6 that characterises many in 911 wouldn't get much bigger than this. So yeah, I think the biggest we'd get would be the 4.2 in the GT3 race car. So yeah, pretty sizable engine from Porsche, quite frankly, and yeah, it's really nice to see a 911 where you can actually see the engine. Most 911s nowadays are just covered up when you see a couple of fans, and maybe that's where you put the oil and the coolant in, and that is basically it. But here, as you can see, you can actually see the engine itself, which is always nice. It's got twin exhausts at the back there, a nice big spoiler to aid in those downforce aerodynamics, and nice wheels, and yeah, just looks the part, really, to be honest. Obviously the GT3 RS would take this to a whole new level with being lighter and such, but this base GT3 is still a pretty damn formidable car, especially when it comes to the track. So to see how formidable, let's get out onto a track and see just what this car can do. Right, we're at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, for one reason and one reason alone, is that Porsche's official test driver at the time, Walter Röhrl, set a lap time of 7 minutes and 42 seconds. So yeah, we're going to see if we can beat that with this car. But firstly, let's hear what the car sounds like, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, pretty good sounding engine, to be honest. It's not as crazy as the more modern GT3s, which, you know, rev to 9,000 RPM and sound incredible, but yeah, sounds pretty good, to be honest, especially for only their second attempt at a GT3. So yeah, pretty damn good in that regard. And yeah, handling wise, yeah, it's pretty much on the money, to be honest. There's a hint of understeer, which I guess is to be expected when you've got so little weight up front, but yeah, the rest of the car just really grips and handles really nicely. You've got good brakes as well, which is obviously aided by the fact it doesn't weigh all that much. So yeah, all in all, a very good handling car, and I can see why this set quite a reasonably quick lap time in the hands of Porsche's official test driver. Which, like I said, is the reason we're here, to see if we can actually match that time. I doubt we will, because, you know, we're not only on a game, but I'm not the best driver ever, quite frankly. So yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see how close we can actually get to that time. But yeah, this car's still pretty damn quick even by 2007 standards. 0 to 60 is dealt with in 3.819 seconds. 0 to 100 is dealt with in 8.719 seconds. And despite all of that downforce and the lack of lift in terms of aerodynamics, it's still able to do 200 miles an hour, which is, yeah, quite frankly ridiculous, to be honest. So yeah, formidable car overall, and I'm surprised I haven't reviewed this sooner, because we have reviewed the first GT3 in the past, a bit of off-road moments there, but we're not going to rewind. We'll be as true to life as possible. But yeah, I've reviewed the oh dear, well, we will rewind if we crash, it's not going to rewind if we make a slight off mistake. Yeah, I've reviewed the older version of this. We'll get the sound back in a second. It's still an issue with this game. And we have reviewed obviously the later versions, but yeah, never reviewed this one for some reason. Not sure whether or not it's been in previous Forza games or not, but regardless, yeah, it's really nice to finally get around to reviewing this car, and especially getting it around this track, which, yeah, it's a formidable track, quite frankly. You might think why I concentrate a lot on this track and have a whole series centred around it, and that's just purely because there's no track that tests a car quite like this. You know, you've got fast corners, you've got slow corners, you've got high speed straights, you've got plenty of corners themselves which demand a lot of attention when going at high rate of speed. There's lots of different angles to the track. You've obviously got the two carousels, one of which is coming up soon. And yeah, it's just, you know, you've got inclines, you've got descending parts. And you don't have much in the way of run-offs either, so you really are hemmed in there to really stoke up the fear of the track itself. So yeah, and it just really does show off the car's, you know, different handling characteristics, and yeah, it's a good way of showing off the car's kind of speed as well, because on the final big straight you do get up to a high rate of speed, especially in the most powerful of cars. So it's a good test of a car, really. Plus there's obviously no track on this game or anywhere else in the world that is as long and as challenging as this one, quite frankly. We are getting another long track obviously added to this game at some point next month with Fuji Mikado. As much as I am excited for that track to be added, I'd also like another Forza Motorsport 4. Well, actually two Forza Motorsport 4 mainstays, to be honest. New York City which isn't the most complicated track ever, but it is a fun one, and the Amalfi Coast one as well. I'd like both of those to make a return, quite frankly. But I doubt many people are on the same page in this regard. Doesn't look like we're going to beat the Porsche's official test driver's time, but hopefully it won't be a million miles off. I doubt he was commentating though and giving you facts about the car at the time though. Yeah, for something that, you know, in the grand scheme of things doesn't have the most amount of power, as you can see, it's still able to get up to a good rate of speed. Very nearly got away with only one rewind in the entire lap there. Get the sound back briefly. To be honest, we weren't that far off, we're only about 4 seconds off, which, considering I'm a complete oaf behind the wheel, and obviously also dealing with, you know, traction control and only an automatic gearbox, yeah, that was pretty damn good, but that just shows how great this car actually is in terms of handling. Even in the hands of an idiot like me, quite frankly, is able to get it around very nearly as quickly as an official test driver. Obviously, on the game, it's somewhat different to real life. You know, we can rewind, we can correct mistakes, but still, shows how quick this and shows how great this car is in terms of handling, braking, and in terms of general acceleration and speed. So, yeah, a really good car. Definitely one of my more favourite post 2000 Porsches, quite frankly, and yeah, one I highly recommend trying out if you haven't already. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.